What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Under 1,000 Podcast. My name is Gershon. This is gpsnakes. This is the podcast I do. I had a whole idea what I was gonna say and it just went away. Which is weird to do this every Friday. Sorry, just a little tangent. But this is a podcast where I bring on another YouTube reptile enthusiast, hobbyist, or breeder, and we talk to them about their YouTube journey and their reptile journey. It's a great way for me to get to know other people in the space and in the industry, make new friends, and network with a lot of people. Also, meet a lot of people in the chat. You guys are just awesome in the chat. Learn so much from you guys and having fun talking with you guys. And this is great for me because I am, as much as it doesn't seem, I am an introvert. I am totally fine being in the house. So this definitely helps me get out of my shell, meeting more people. And I've grown through this process and made a lot more friends within the industry and outside the industry, actually, going through this. So thank you guys for hanging out with us and being here every Friday with us, meeting new people, having good conversations, and talking snakes and reptiles, which we all love. But before we bring on our guests, you know what we have to do. We have to, first we're going to say hello to a couple people in the chat. Celtic Reptiles, what's up? Paul, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Jen, thanks for stopping by. What's up? I've been watching your Instagrams. You be killing with the rats. I love the rat breeding. So thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. But without further ado, we have to say thank you to our sponsor for this episode. And I'm looking around. There's a sponsor video. So here's a sponsor. Wait, I had to take that down. It seems like this is my first time doing this, guys. No, I've been
This episode is sponsored by Herp Collectors. They're a family-run business specializing in investment quality morphs to help other breeders achieve their project dreams and beyond. They are working with a couple different morphs specifically. Their baseline is Clown, Desert Ghost, and Hypo. And they're dabbing a little bit in the Ultra Male and Pieds as well. So definitely check them out for ball python needs. They are slowly coming up in the industry and they're going to be producing some amazing animals very soon. But that's not all. They also have a YouTube channel. Of course, you know we're all about YouTube over here. They do a live podcast on their YouTube channel every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time called Clutch Conversations. It's a great podcast. I was actually on it, and Mike does an amazing job interviewing guests. He also brings guests from all over the industry and talks to them. It's a definite watch if you're free on Thursdays. And if you're not, you can still listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcast apps. Their mission is also to share the excitement of working with these reptiles, as well as bringing people together to promote and preserve our hobby. So what are you waiting for? Go follow and subscribe to their YouTube, their Instagram, their Facebook, and their TikTok. Thanks for sponsoring this episode, Herp Collectors.
Thank you again, Mike, for sponsoring this episode. If you didn't know, he had a podcast last night. Great podcast. Go check that out if you missed it. I am getting on top of putting my podcast on like Stitcher and other podcast app platforms, the audio version of it. Mike's been pushing me on that. I've been slacking, but I am going to get on that. But guys, thanks for coming through. But without further ado, guys, let's bring on our guest for this week. Oh, the computer is so slow.
Buddy, just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Hello, how are you doing?
Not too bad, Gershon. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. If you could go ahead and introduce yourself to the people, let them know what you keep and breed, And also, thank you for coming on some short notice. I can't talk. I greatly appreciate that. But go ahead and let the people know who you are.
Yeah, of course, man. Glad to help out, and also glad to have me. I know we planned on doing this in December, but I mean, it doesn't hurt to get things done sooner than later. So,
Very true.
but
Procrastination.
yeah,
I do it a lot.
yeah. So, Brandon, we just a very original name. Nixon Reptiles. Just slap the last name on there and call it good. Um, Mostly, I started breeding with boas, and then eventually picked up some ball pythons a couple years ago, and that's pretty much the bulk of it is boas, ball pythons, and then also have a couple berms and a pair of blood pythons too. So it's
Okay.
like a little bit of variety. It's just something different. I mean, they're different species. They're just different looks. I mean, all that stuff. And, eventually I would like to do some like blood balls and stuff like that, do some weird little hybrid things just because I think they're really neat looking. So,
hmm Okay. Okay. So, you're on YouTube. You're on Instagram. We got those links down below. Are you on TikTok?
I have it, and I've literally, I think, posted like one video on there, and I just don't like it. I mean, I don't, I
Understandable.
don't really, I don't really like a lot of the stuff on Instagram either, for the most part, just because of, I don't know, it's all just weird dances and lip syncing, like that kind of stuff,
I
and I just,
understand.
I just can't, I just don't like it. So, some of the stuff is funny though, but I don't know, I'm more of the guy that can sit down and watch like a documentary or something. I don't need like 5-second things. Like it's taken me a while to start doing these like Instagram reels where they're like, 5 to 10 seconds long, because like I feel like I want to show you what I'm showing you for longer than 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah. You don't mind
Like
taking your time showing you, explaining, going into details. I can understand that.
exactly. I feel like I'm definitely more detail than just like a quick little flash in the pan thing. And it's like, but that's just what it is. So that's kind of
True.
what you have to do.
True. Yeah, it is. It is a necessary evil sometimes.
Yeah.
I understand when people say they need to take a break from social media. They just got too. It's been too chaotic for them, and I get understand that to an extent. But then I realize, are you using your social media, or is your social media using you? You need
Oh
to
no,
be in
totally.
control of that.
The problem is
And
though, is I think you can get yourself into like like you get sucked in, right? So like I'll be
yeah.
looking for like ideas for like my reels, right? Like I'm trying to find
hmm
like songs that like match something with like an animal, whether it's the morph or like just a scene or something that like I feel like I can throw together that makes like sense. And then
hmm
the next thing you know, I'm like going through and it's like, a bunch of like bodybuilding stuff, bunch of like alien conspiracy theory stuff. You know what I mean? It's like you
That
just
go
fall
down a
down
rabbit
like
hole.
you just fall down a rabbit hole. Next thing you know, it's been like 45 minutes and you haven't done anything productive. And it's like I get mad at myself sometimes for like falling into that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
So
did that. I started doing that last night. I was like, I'm gonna find some new real sounds ideas, and I was looking through it, and 2 hours later, I was like, did I find anything? Because I watched a lot of stuff. I don't think I
hmm
saved anything.
you didn't
So
save nothing. Yeah. Well, that's
I
what'll
can
happen. Well,
understand that.
usually it'll be like a good week or two. And then my fiance will be like, "Do you want to see something?" And then I already know what's coming. And it's like we're about to just sit and we're about to scroll through like all of her TikTok because she's got like 1,000 things like saved and ready to go. And
Yep,
most of them are like funny. And it's like I get it, but it's like that's the thing I don't like is it just like it sucks you in, and then it's like
it
the
does.
productive stuff you could be doing you don't do,
It
and
does.
it's like, and then I just like I don't know. Time is a
That's
very
why. That's
precious
why
commodity.
I like listening to a podcast because I can do what I still need to do and listen to something. It's
Yeah,
hard when it's a visual thing. It takes you away from doing other stuff, being more
yeah.
active, cleaning rats, cleaning snakes, taking something out. So
Oh
I
yeah.
can understand that totally, totally. Snakes with the memories. Thanks for coming through. Greatly appreciated. So, Brandon, we brought you on to ask you a couple questions, get to know a little more about you, get to know about your YouTube journey. So let's just jump into it. Let's get to one of these questions once I find them. You see how I'm stalling right now? Because I forgot where I put the question. So I found it. Here we go. Okay. So how long have you had your YouTube channel?
Honestly, I should have probably studied before we took the test, but I
I mean, I can understand this because I tend to send the questions early because I want this to be fun for people. I don't want them to feel like they're, oh, I'm under a microscope. No, I want you to have
oh, I
fun. I
know.
want you to express. But being we were in like a small time frame, I can understand these questions catch you off guard a little bit.
Oh, I know that. No, I'm trying to think though, because I want to say like I probably started posting like videos around maybe like 2000, between like 2008 and 2010 probably.
Okay.
Like I started posting videos, and I had like a lot of boa videos up, and I took down most of them, to be honest with you. Mostly
Mm,
just because I like went back through and I seen like a bunch of people saying like stupid things, and I'm like, whatever. Like I'll just delete the video. It doesn't even matter to me anyway, because at the time I liked doing the videos, and honestly, it's kind of interesting to think, right? It's like what would have happened if I kept doing them, because I
hmm.
was doing them like weekly for a good while. Me and another
Yeah.
buddy who is no longer really in the hobby. I mean, he still has a couple of snakes. Is just like for fun kind of animals, but him and I would post videos like probably weekly or every other week. So I had
Oh
like a good
wow.
little stockpile of boa videos, and there's still some up there, but there isn't many.
So you
That and the
were
video quality was just kind of meh, you know.
yeah, understandable,
So I was like, oh,
understandable.
whatever. Like you look at some of the video stuff that was done, 10 years ago, and it's like insane. Like it just like looks like so bad sometimes.
It
I had
does.
like a little like one of the little like Sony camcorder like guys that like flipped out on the side, and
Yep.
it's like it just doesn't do the same job as even like a cell phone does these days. So
Definitely. It's amazing how far technology has come from when we first got cell phones with cameras on it to what
oh
we
yeah,
have now.
it's
It's
insane. You could
just
literally film like a movie on a cell phone camera.
very true. Very true. And honestly, I haven't. I think maybe 2 years ago, I went back and looked at like one of some of my earlier videos, and was like, "Oh my God, that's why does it look like that?"
That was high quality back then.
That was peak quality back then.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can totally understand that. Grace Reptiles, thanks for coming through. Rob, thanks for coming through. Kai, what's up? Thanks for coming through. Bosa, what's up? Thanks for coming through. Tammy, thanks for coming through. I think that's everybody. That's probably more. I always get lost in the comments. It's
I
hard to
remember, I
keep up.
remember seeing, I'm pretty sure I remember seeing Bosa, I think, down, I think it's him. Yeah, maybe. Now I'm confused, but I feel like I seen him like down in like Daytona, but I'm not the dude, like, because we went down to Daytona,
Okay.
but I'm like not the dude to go up and talk to like people unless like I know you. And it's just
Yeah.
because I just feel weird about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
I ran into Antoine out there, and it's like him and I have like met before, and we've like talked before. You know what I mean? So it's like it was, I don't know. It's just easier. I feel like I'm less socially awkward when I like know who you are, and
It
it's
does
like,
help. It
and
does
it
help.
goes to like a video that I plan on doing just to keep on the YouTube topic. Maybe probably I think like 3 weeks or 4 weeks from now I'll have it out. Because we're doing a reptile show, not this weekend, but the next one and the next one. So we got two shows coming up on the 5th and the 12th. And with those, I want to kind of walk around and show a couple people's animals. Kind of put a couple people on that I know.
Hmm.
Show their setup, show the stuff that they're working with or whatever. And it's like that's like half the reason why I was going to go down to Daytona was to go hang out and to like meet a couple people and record a couple things. The only people's stuff that I recorded was Brock's, because I know Brock and I've bought like stuff off of him. I didn't
Yeah.
even like record any conversation with him. I had my fiance walking around with recording like other tables to like get that stuff, and it's like I never even made like a video out of it. And it's like now I feel like it's like old news because it's like Daytona's like 2-3 months ago, and it's like and she got some really good stuff, like because she don't care. Like, she's like, let me just get my camera all up in there and record this or record that. And it's like, that's just not me, man. Like, even if I go to a show, like, I'm like 4 or 5 feet away from the table, just like looking from a distance, because I just feel awkward, especially if I'm not like trying to buy something. Much less.
I went to Tinley and my goal was to film stuff, walk around, film stuff. Still feel weird filming in public, filming myself in public. So I didn't do that. I talk to people, but of course I'm awkward. So I'm trying to not be weird around people when I'm talking to them.
But then you're extra weird.
Exactly. I'm like, okay, I tell people right away, like, hey, it's good to meet you.
Act normal.
If I say something weird, don't get too upset. It's gonna happen. I can't help it. But I didn't film anything. Like, only thing I got was like pictures with people, but I didn't have any actual footage of anything. I didn't record anything. And I told myself I was going to record at least enough for like 2 to 3 videos for those 3 days I was there. Recorded nothing. But I had a lot of fun, though. That's the positive. I lived in that moment.
That's how I feel about that stuff, too, man. It's like, you just, I don't know. It's rough with all that. And it's
so interesting to see people be able to just
do it all willy-nilly.
Yeah, I'm like, how are you doing that? Like, you're just walking around and you're not worried about anybody around you. Like, I am, but also I have a issue with just being around a large group of people, so I'm always watching everybody, and my anxiety gets real high because there's so many people around, so I'm watching. I'm always worried about the dangerous situation in crowds. So I'm looking to see where something is going wrong and which way I need to run or how I need to escape from it. And I don't know how to turn that off unless I'm drunk. I can turn it off and have a little liquor in my system, but then I don't like to be drunk in other states.
Multifaceted problem.
Exactly.
You know, and it wasn't until like after the fact, like when she was talking about it, because she was telling me, she's like, because we had our show like shortly after. I think it was after. Yeah, maybe it was after. I can't even remember now. But she was mentioning about like, wouldn't you like it if someone came up and wanted to, you know, show your animals and talk to you and whatever else? And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, like, you know, and it's like, that's kind of the perspective, right? Like at the end of the day, me or you or anybody going up to somebody's table and being like, hey, can I get like 3 minutes? Show me a couple things. And then, you know, I can like tag in a video or whatever else, because it's like, who knows, man? It's like, the people that know you may not know me, or the people that know me may not know you. And next thing you know, like you have a couple people that at least support what you do, or maybe people that are interested in your animals, all because somebody came up and, you know, recorded your stuff. So then I was like, you know what, like I need to like record, you know, doing, you know, this, like whenever we go to the next show. And you know, I already messaged a couple of my buddies that I know are going to be there, you know, like, you know, like my buddy Andres, and then you got, you know, Brian and Michael and Phil, you know, it's like I messaged a couple of those guys to like be like, hey man, you mind like if I do this while I'm there? Because I don't want to get like everybody. I just want to get like a couple people, you know what I mean? Because it's like, I don't want it to be, I want it to like be people that I know and people that like I am at least somewhat comfortable like around or asking to like do it. So
exactly, I can understand that. But so the weird thing is that is baby steps. The weird thing is I took over Derek's table because he had a booth he was vending, and he wanted to go check out the Clutch. Is it the Clutch, the new Clutch app that Canova was revealing and stuff. So he went to go check that out, and
I'm actually wearing his like fancy shirt today.
So I was watching his table for him, and I'm comfortable behind the table. I don't know. I don't understand it. I'm comfortable behind the table, and I can interact with people a lot easier behind that table. Just saying, "Hi, how you doing? What are you looking for? Or what project you working with?" And I actually helped him sell a snake while he was gone. I sold a snake to a guy because I just had a regular conversation with him, and he was like, I'm gonna buy this snake only because you actually talked to me about anything else but snakes. Like we just had a conversation like a normal human being, and I appreciated that. And I was like, it was easy behind the table though. I
Oh
don't
no,
know
it's
why.
no. I feel you because it's easy for me behind a table too. Like
So
just yeah, just conversation. But
yeah,
it's
yeah, fair
different when
enough.
you're out there trying to like record stuff, and
Mm,
I'm too technical, man. I make things too difficult for myself for my own good.
uh,
With certain things like all of like my reels and stuff for Instagram. Like I use like my digital camera. I don't use my phone. Like
oh,
the only time you'll see a reel where I used my phone was either before I started using my camera, and that's when I was just starting to get into posting reels, or
mm-hmm.
if I just didn't have enough time to record something decent. So then I just pulled off some little hodgepodge thing that I recorded with my phone. So that's pretty
Okay,
much how that works for me.
okay. I do. I've heard people use their actual regular camera to record stuff, and I only have the phone, so I don't have another camera, so
Yeah,
I have no choice. But if I ever do get a camera, I might look into doing that more, just to get that better, clearer picture and all that positive.
that's
Um,
pretty much all it is. Is just you
yeah,
have more you just have more control. And
true.
the biggest thing that I feel like is most important is you have control over like your white balance and stuff.
Mm,
Because like, some lights they run cooler, some lights they run warmer, some lights they do this, they do that. And when you're trying to like show the animals correctly, which is why, like I said, I'm like technical stuff is like my problem because it's like I want it
hmm.
to be technically correct. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I just want it to be like the way that it's supposed to be. And so it's like I want the white balance to be right. It's like I want, the focus to be this kind of way. I want. And the
yeah,
easiest
I
way
can
for me to
understand
like
that.
to deal with that is using a camera.
True. Yeah.
So
So Rob, I think I'm about 600 watch hours away now. Last time I checked, it went up. The issue is I've been on YouTube for so long that every day I lose watch hours because a new video gets taken off my watch hours countless because it only in the last 12 months. That's what it does. The last 12 months. So
yeah.
every day a new one pops off. So that is the
So there
kind
goes a
of
couple hundred
issue.
hours.
Exactly. Every time. So I'll move up 6 hours and then I'll lose 32 hours. So it's back and forth. Hey Owen, how you doing? How is Snakey doing? Send me a picture. Send me an update picture of him. But thank you guys for coming by. Check. I hope he's doing great. Hope he's eating good. Hope you're having fun with him. Um, so let's get to another question. So this one I'm interested. What is your favorite codom and your favorite recessor? I usually tell people pick one. I'm getting to the point that I know that's hard to do. So you can pick one and then a runner up.
Well, they're kind of tied in first and second place for me. So I guess that kind of works out well because you're giving me options here. But between I'm gonna be a jerk and just throw in three just because. So because it's like variable, right? Because it's like there's a specific reason why it's these three. So blackhead and chocolate, right?
Okay.
Because they both have a super that looks great and it works well with stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
those ones are kind of like tied for me. So it's like I have a dark favorite, so it's kind of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the brighter side, I mean, I'm wearing the Canova shirt, but it's the lace or the
Mm.
white lace rather. I don't really care so much about the lace because it's nice, but like the white lace is like where it's
Yeah.
at. But the same
Yeah.
thing for me, like I like the super chocolate and I like the super blackhead. Like the Kodam version is cool, but the super's like the important part. And it's like I just
Exactly.
just think about it this way, right? Like all these crazy cool beautiful like yellow belly spot nose clown whatever combos. The problem is, what if you mix that snake with an animal you don't know has yellow belly or spark or whatever? You know what I mean? All of a sudden you're making an ivory. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if I could, I would actually probably not have anything that makes a solid white or a solid black snake
Mm-hmm.
because I want there to be some ability to pair things together without screwing it up.
Yep.
the super gravel clowns look awesome. I mean, the highway clowns look awesome too, but if you mess around and you accidentally, for whatever reason, don't know yellow belly, which we all know is very subtle, you don't know yellow belly's in like an animal, all of a sudden you went from making like, more super gravel whatevers or gravel whatevers, and now all of a sudden you're making, yellow bellies and high ivories and highways.
Yep.
So I like the fact that you can kind of guarantee what you're going to produce by using like a blackhead or a chocolate or like a white lace, because there's not a solid colored super.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to move away from yellow belly in my collection, switch all yellow belly out to asphalts, because I know the super asphalt, I can see them. They got patterns.
Yeah,
they go
exactly.
good and stuff. So yeah, I could totally agree with that. I am becoming a fan of chocolate. I've been seeing it more. I like the way it looks like it's literally dripping off the snake.
Oh, it's so nice.
So
nice.
I should be getting some probably in a
Such a
year
cool
or so.
thing.
In Blackhead, I definitely want to get that into the albino clown project I work with. I think that'll pop up the contrast and make it look really cool. Yeah, those
Well,
are nice.
I know if you don't I don't know if you know him or not, or maybe you had him on here or something. Sal from Gomez Pythons, that dude.
Oh yeah, I know Sal. I watch Sal's channel.
Yeah.
I haven't had him on. I need to contact him one of these days.
Yeah, he's a cool dude, but he does a lot of stuff with like Candy and Candino, and he has like some blackhead stuff mixed into that. So it's like he's like a good option to go that route. The only blackheads I have is I have a super blackhead, a pastel super blackhead genetic stripe female, and then I have a ultramel blackhead female. So, who knows, what route I'll go with it. But, those are just things that I got because, they're just the blackhead. Like the contrast a regular blackhead brings is like so nice. And especially when you mix it with like Mojave or leopard or something like that, it just like darkens it out so much and it gives it such a cool look.
Yeah.
And like blackhead clowns, I mean, those things are like super variable and like really neat looking, So
Very true. Very true. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Okay. So what about your recessive? What are your recessive picks?
I mean, sunset.
Right to it. No hesitation. No hesitation.
No, that's my one, man. I love the sunset stuff. It's really nice. I mean, I got into it like that was my first like big ball python purchase. Like I got my group of stuff from Brock in like 2019, and I mean, I raised my girls up. I paired all the stuff this year, and I made some really pretty sunsets and a bunch of double het stuff and everything else. So it's like I'm just a big fan of it. I mean, I love the color. I mean, I know Kai is also a sunset fan. It's like it's just so nice, man. And it's like and it's been around for a while and it's been so untapped. So there's so much potential for it.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it's just so hard because I have probably too many projects is what I have. Because I mean I just have so many. Like I have like all the albinos. I got pieds and clowns and genetic stripes and tri-stripes, and I got all the stuff. But I want to explore tri-stripe the same way people have explored clown. Too.
Okay.
Like I just like it. I think there's a lot of stuff to do, and it's like Kyle Frost. He's like another old time boa dude who does like some ball python stuff now. He made some really cool leopard tri-stripes, and it really like kept the tri-stripe, but it also broke up the pattern on the sides a little bit enough to where you could say, like imagine if you make like some sort of basically Pompeii tri-stripe minus the clown. You know what I mean? Like there's really so many options and opportunities that are off the beaten path. You just really need to think about it. And that's like my thing is I think about that stuff. Like those are the ways that I want to take stuff. It's like you take the Justin recipe, right? Black pastel, yellow belly, red stripe. But instead of yellow belly, maybe you throw in lace. So now you have like black pastel, or maybe chocolate. Let's just say chocolate or blackhead, white lace, and red stripe. All those supers are totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then you mix that with, something else. You mix that with, tri-stripe. You mix that with clown. You mix that with puzzle. You know what I mean? It's like there's just so many options to go a completely different way where you can be guaranteed you're not going to make a solid white or black snake.
Exactly. Yeah, I love sunset. My pockets don't love sunset, so I've yet to get into it. I plan to. Um, Once I can make some stuff that can pay for that, that's
Oh
the
yeah,
goal. I definitely want to get into it. Um, but you
the
mentioned
best.
puzzle. I just got into puzzle. Just got a head puzzle female, so I'm growing
Oh
her
yeah,
up.
yeah, I seen that thing. Yeah.
So I'm still trying to wrap my head around which way I want to go with puzzles per se, and what excites me about the project and which can excite me in the future of it. So I have a
So you
little bit
you
of
got
time
you
still
got like
growing
a you
up.
got a you got a het puzzle female, right? That's what it was.
Yep, yep, I have
So
puzzle female.
that's all I have in my project too right now. Is that well,
Okay.
she's a GHI Mojave double het hypo puzzle, right?
So when
And
I said I had a het puzzle, you just threw out like three other code dots and then a double.
yeah,
Is a double?
yeah. But I'm saying that's the one that I'm working with. Like I don't even have a male for her, but I don't really plan on it yet either. Like for me, like I try and think of the best way that I could leverage that stuff to help grow that project, right? And it's like,
Yeah.
like I've seen a couple like hypo het puzzles cheap, like $400 or $500. Like that would be a
Mm,
good male for that. Or,
yeah.
if I have, like I have a desert ghost het hypo male, like I could breed that to her, make hypos, het desert ghost, 50% het puzzle, keep all the females. Eventually genetic testing will be out for puzzle, and then
Mm-hmm.
I can test which ones are het for puzzle and then raise those up. So
Mm.
it's like, for me, I try and think like, okay, and like don't get me wrong, it's like it sucks because you're not going to have anything to sell for the project, right?
True.
But long term, you're going to be setting yourself up. Like I don't know what like males you have that you would take to her, but like if you got like a desert ghost or you got like whatever other type of like powerful, colorful male,
Mm-hmm.
that could go well with her. It's like, shoot, man, I'd take that to her, keep all the girls, and then that way you could expand your projects down the road
Very true. That is a good way to go to get into a project. To
versus, paying, $2,000 or $3,000 or whatever for a puzzle male, make
mm-hmm.
your own, combo hets, you
True.
know?
True.
And I mean, what does it hurt? I mean, it's like one clutch. I mean, if you get three or four females, I mean, you pray to the gods to get that, but
Yeah. I've been getting
it's
lucky this year on females.
well,
One
you'll
whole
see my video. You'll see my video tomorrow, and you'll see how some things turned out.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not
What's
going
up,
to go
Keisha?
any
Thanks for
further
coming
because I'm not trying
through.
to spoil nothing.
So we definitely look forward to that tomorrow. What time is that video coming out? Have you decided what time?
Usually I have them come out at like 9 or 10 o'clock. It depends if I like. I already have this one like ready to go. I just need to put it up,
Okay.
and I need to like take a picture for like the thumbnail or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
was doing them on Tuesdays, but it was too much to do like over the weekend, and it's like
Yep.
time, so it's like, what, like I'm just gonna do the videos throughout the week, and then I'll finish the video, and then I'll upload it for a Saturday, viewing. People can wake up, they can have their coffee, they'll go onto YouTube and they'll see my video, and maybe watch it, maybe not, and then
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's just a little better. And
Gotcha.
I think overall I like to try and have stuff planned out. Like I've got a video for this week, that's already pretty much done, and then I have a video for the week after that's done in my mind. I just need to like, finish, like actually record it and do it. So
I can totally understand that. I mean, people that don't do YouTube videos on a regular basis don't realize there is an actual kind of structure you have to make to be able to get that video done, get that video edited, get that video uploaded, get the thumbnail, get the
yeah,
tags and all the hashtags. So it's a whole process that you kind of have to some people work it throughout the week. Some people do it in one day. Some people do it in 2 days. But everybody has their own little system, which works for them.
Yeah.
Hopefully, are like me. You're always like, oh darn it, I got a day to finish this video that I've been doing for the last 3 days. I probably should do that because I procrastinate a lot.
Yeah. And in a perfect world, I would have, which, you know, right now I'm kind of ahead of the curve a little bit with having, you know, basically two videos like figured out and like mostly done, you know, so that way I'm not like stressing too much. And also it comes down to like video type, you know, like for a while, you know, I was doing really good for a while and then I stopped for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And most of it was because I was just kind of tired of the videos that I was making because like I fell into like a trap almost after I did a video on ultrasound and then I did a video shortly after like how to use like your phone to do like photos or videos, you know? And it's like those are like helpful kind of tip videos. And then it was like I felt like I needed to do more kind of like tip-ish videos. And it's like, that's not really what I want. That's not really what I like. You know, I'm more like the stuff I want it more for is like showing off animals or projects, you know, like I try and use either, you know, like DPR, like Antoine, you know, like I like his style of videos and like Justin's style of videos where it's like, here's the project. This is like the pieces for it. This is what we're trying to make. And just show it like that, you know. It's like I just feel like that's just a better look all around.
Yeah, it's hard to make videos that you like and other people like, but then also don't get stale in making the same video over and over again.
Yeah.
We as humans we get comfortable, we get lazy, and we just continue to do the same thing over and over again. Instead of pushing yourself sometimes and getting outside of your box and making something. But then you have an audience and you want to entertain that audience. You want to entertain, but you also want to educate as well. Because you never know who might watch your video that one day and might learn something and find a new fascination of snakes that they never knew they had.
Yeah.
So you try to do the best you can on every video, but then life happens. So you get caught up in stuff, but you still try to put out a good video, but also make sure people see you inside that video. Like that, as much as we know the snakes are the stars of this, us being there explaining stuff, it's a small part of it that people enjoy. The snakes are really why they're here. We get it. I understand. No one wants to see my mug. They want to see the pretty animal. I get it. But every so often you got to say some nice stuff to them to get them like, you know what? That was smart what he said. I'm going to come back and watch the next one.
Yeah. And that's, you know, that's, I think, kind of the benefit of YouTube, right? Is like you put your face out there, people recognize you, they know who you are, they feel more comfortable with you, you know, and that kind of thing. And also to go back on your point about, you know, the just like, you know, something to basically make people feel good seeing your stuff. Like that's kind of the reason why I do, you know, despite all the negative things I was saying about Instagram and TikTok, I really enjoy actually making the videos that I make, like the creative ones anyway. You know, I like it because I like doing creative things. You know, like that's like a thing that I really enjoy. And it's like, so I like making those, but it's just like, sometimes it's like a task. Like we went to like a Michael's, we went to a Hobby Lobby, we went to like a couple places to try and find like Halloween decorations to do like one little video that I put together. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm going through like trials and tribulations to record literally like a 7 to 10 second video. You know what I mean? And it's like, and it was just frustrating like doing it because like the lighting wasn't working the way I wanted to. And it's like, eventually I came out with something that worked, you know? It didn't work like the best way that I wanted it to, but it turned out like nice. And I was like, that is good enough for my patience right now. Cause it was like 10, 11 o'clock. I was like, I need to finish this thing. I need to like put it together. Like, it's just like I mean, it's a lot of stuff to figure out for sure.
Very true. Very true. Celtic Python, Celtic Reptiles, congrats on that Pastel Inchy Freeway female. I know you're real close to, I don't know, did you have a female up to size this coming season, let me know. I think you have female decide to do some more breeding this season. Keisha, you gonna hit some sunset clowns? Congrats! I'll be looking. I'm waiting for you to get back on YouTube so I can see these amazing animals you got. But yeah, definitely excited for that. That's dedication. It is. It is. 100%. 100%. So let's hit another question. Speaking of cameras, what camera do you use to film all your stuff? Look at that segue. It seems like I've been doing this for a while. Oh wow.
It's almost like you know what you're doing. Almost.
Exactly. Just a little bit.
So before I was using a Sony A7 II, which is like a full frame, like, I mean, it's like a big, professional mirrorless camera. And I really liked it. However, the problem is like, if you're looking at the camera, the screen just like flips out like this way. So when you're doing like a vertical video, it ain't gonna work, So what I actually got is a Sony A7 or a Sony ZV-10, which is this little guy.
Okay.
So I have a 18 to 50, Sigma lens, which is a pretty decent lens, and it's macro, so it gets, pretty nice and close. But the most important thing about it is that it has a flip screen. So that way, if I'm recording horizontal, basically the screen will flip down, so I can like physically see the angle and the direction of like what I'm doing, and it fully like articulates like.
I was just about to ask you, does it move around? Yeah, I was just about to ask that.
So it works really well whenever you're recording. Well, it's a pain though, because I also put my camera on a stabilizer, and like I'm saying, like that's what I mean. Like it's on a stabilizer. It's like doing this like manual focus, like full control of like all the stuff, and it's like it makes it too difficult. But
I can understand that.
I know, Kai. I've actually been waiting for an animal to shed to do a really cool idea that I got, and she finally shed yesterday. So this coming week, I'm going to have a really, really cool video, if it turns out the way I want it to, of a ball python, obviously, because my boas are not cooperative.
Oh, yeah. So like how? So I know as a ball python guy, they usually are just in a ball right there. It takes a second to get them out.
Fairly cooperative.
So with boas, how difficult is it to get them in videos and take pictures of them? They're not ball animals. They're just, hey, I'm out here. I'm stretching.
It usually works better when I have one or two.
Okay.
Just because they'll kind of like sit next to each other and kind of figure stuff out together.
Oh.
But
okay.
So it makes it pretty rough though. And, half the time, like, I'm also trying to get, like, right up in there, because that's, like, the point of me having the stabilizer. That's the point of me using, like, a macro lens and whatever else is I can get, like, detail scale shots and then moving around and, like, doing different things. And it's, like, as soon as I pull out the camera, the boas are already ready to go. They're, like, cocked back. They're, like, waiting. Like, they're just hoping that I get close enough. And the thing is they're fine before that. Like if I have them out and I'm just holding them or get them out or whatever, they're fine. But as soon as I pull out the camera, they just start getting crazy, acting like they never seen it before.
Oh, so you think they actually like get spooked by the camera and it just gets their?
I mean, if I got this big old camera on my stabilizer and I'm like bringing it like right up here, they're not a fan. They're a little unhappy about it.
That definitely could spook you a little bit. That makes perfect sense. So when you do stuff, in the rare times you do stuff on your phone, what kind of phone do you use to do it on?
I mean, shoot, man, I got an old iPhone. I got like it's old in iPhone terms. It's
a year old. That's what that means.
No, it's older than that, man. This thing's like 3 years old. I think it's what are they on now? Like the 14? I think we got like the 11. And it's not even like the Max or the Pro or whatever else.
Oh, wow.
But I mean, it still does. Yeah, see, you're like, oh, dang. We even switched from Verizon to T-Mobile recently because we get no reception in our little town that we live in. And we went to T-Mobile, and they don't even offer insurance for iPhone 11s anymore, apparently.
Oh wow.
which I thought
That's
was kind of crazy. But
that
the thing
is
is like
crazy.
it still gets really good quality video. And
Mm-hmm.
I have it. I don't really use it that much, but we used it in Daytona. I have like a stabilizer for my iPhone too. It's made by DJI or DJI. They make stabilizers for both like phones and like cameras, and it's like super easy to set up, but you
Mm-hmm.
get like super clear video. You can do all kinds of different things. So it's like, it's a nice way to do it, and it keeps things like steady. So if you were, doing something for a YouTube video and you wanted steady handheld, footage from like your cell phone, it's like a great thing to use. I mean, I still have it even though I don't really use my phone for video, just because it's a nice piece of equipment.
Mm. Yeah. So like in a pinch, it'll help. It'll work.
Oh
Um.
yeah, it'll work
Yeah.
totally. Yeah.
So that makes sense. That makes sense. Um. Oh, Rob. So I do plan on trying to do like a group live, maybe once a month to help with watch hours. Figure out like 3 or 4 topics and get a couple people on, and we actually talk about the topic. I don't want to do a watch my rack while you sleep live to get that watch hours. I want it to be entertaining at least, not just you staring at mindless rack while I collect hours. But I do plan on doing that down the road. Um, so before we go to another question, it is time for tip of the week. If you didn't know what tip of the week is, it is when I put a post on my Instagram and my Facebook, and under that post, all you have to do is put a comment, a tip, whether it's life related, YouTube related, or reptile related. Whichever tip has the most likes at the end of the week will be on the next episode of Under a Thousand Pod, and you'll get a shout out. So this week, oh, I forget to tell people, you can actually sponsor this segment if you would like. If you like to get your name out there on the podcast and help out the podcast, you can sponsor this segment. So let me know if you're interested in that. Hit me up. Links are in the description. We could talk about that. But without further ado, let's check out this week's tip.
This week's tip comes from 403 Fauna. YouTube tip. Be sure the loudness of your intro matches the loudness of your voice on your YouTube videos. I watch on my TV and have to turn down super loud intros and then crank it up when they start talking. I agree, and I am actually one of those people that have done this as well. I've had an intro that was too loud and didn't match my regular voice when it came on. But great tips. Check those intros, people. Make sure the volume's not too loud. All right, that's this week's tip of the week. Go check out 403 Fauna on his Instagram and his YouTube.
Okay, there we go. My computer's slow, so sometimes it takes me a second before I realize I'm back.
Who's very guilty of doing that though?
Who
Dave Palumbo. I
is
love the
he?
dude. Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
cool dude, man. Like I like him and I like his, like I wish I could do videos like how he does, because he just gets in there, he shows you some stuff. He records all this stuff with his phone. He's just out there chilling, hanging out,
Hmm.
like showing animals and stuff. But whenever he goes to switch from one scene to another scene, his little transition scene is like loud.
Is
Like it is
it?
loud.
I
But
know I
it's like,
was.
so
I
you
did
just
that.
know, like the transition sound, it's just like the audio levels or something, which is like another thing. Oh, I don't have it next to me. Oh, it's over there. I don't know if you use them or not. I'll go grab it just because.
Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. I had to learn. People told me like, why is your intro so loud? And I was like, I can't tell if it's loud. I didn't realize to check with my headphones first.
So I know it's a question coming up anyway. So we'll get to the how to fix that whenever we get there. But what I use now for audio, again, another DJI product.
Okay.
Hashtag not a sponsor, but it's awesome because it comes with like a little receiver that goes on your camera. So you just mount it with like a
Oh.
little cold shoe guy and you slide it right on top of your camera and hook it up to your camera. Or if you have like an iPhone or like an Android phone, it comes with like a little deal and then you just slide it in and then you just attach it to your iPhone or your Android phone, and then you get two actual receivers. So you get like a little
Ooh.
2-pack. So it's like
Yeah.
if you and I were doing like an interview, like what I plan on doing at the show is I'll have one attached to me and one attached to the other guy, and then that way they'll hear all the audio, So
Mhm.
it's just like a neat thing. And before I was using like a shotgun mic, like on top of the camera. And for me, like I know, like when I had my incubator in my room down here, it would always pick up the incubator noise.
Yeah.
So it's like I wanted something that was more direct and more like on me.
Yeah.
But again, it comes to everything else though, man. It's like these little guys are expensive. I mean, everything's expensive,
True.
and it's like,
Exclusive. You gotta make. Do they have to be charged?
yeah, but I mean, dude, I've had this thing for a couple months now and I've charged it once.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a giant, and I don't even know like how much yeah, I guess I have like, I mean, I'm full now. Like I've got 4 lights and I took this off the charger like 3 weeks ago. So
Okay. Okay.
it takes a lot to kill it.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know because that is another thing you have to pay attention. I had to pay attention how much juice do I have in my phone because I was gonna record something, but now I'm down to
Now
two.
you got it. Now you got to wait. You got to charge it up for like an hour.
Yeah, yeah, and so since I record on my phone, I use an old phone to mirror my phone so I can see myself. But then sometimes I forget to plug that phone in, so if that phone's dead, I gotta wait till that charges up a little bit
They
before I
make
can mirror.
so they make a thing. I've seen it before. I've seen it because I watch this channel called Think Media. They do
Okay.
all kinds of videos that show you like YouTube tricks and tips and like how to do this and how to do that, and a bunch of beneficial YouTube information. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that they did, that's funny, Kai. It would be nice if DJI gave me a sponsorship. I would not complain about getting all their stuff for free 99.
Yeah, it would be
But
nice.
in that video they showed like how to record yourself using your phone, and they
Mm-hmm.
showed all the different options. And there's actually like a case that you can get for your phone that has like a mirror on it. So what'll happen is you'll have your phone, you'll have like a flip up mirror that sits like up here, and then it'll literally show you what's on the screen as it's like recording you.
Oh, really?
But that's also why I got this camera, because if I get
Yeah.
this and I could, oh my God, I almost thought I turned it the wrong way for a second.
You see,
Snapped
instant
it.
worry. He was like,
I know.
Oh, okay.
Well, I hit the little flap for the microphone, but you can flip this thing around completely so you can see yourself. So
And
that's
that
like
was-
another reason why I got this. But my fiance, she helps me out a lot with the videos. Like she makes sure like I'm in focus. She's the one that like will push the record button, like she helps out like on like the talking portions of everything whenever it's like on me and I'm talking about this or that. So super helpful.
Yeah.
Before it was rough, because with my old one, I couldn't see if the exposure was right. I couldn't see nothing. And then we finish it and then it like doesn't look good because I was wearing a white shirt, and that white shirt is like nuclear white,
Yeah, yeah. That was one of the only reasons I was going to get an actual camera, is to have that monitor to be able to see myself. But then I was like, I think I can do this. I can make my other phone mirror it and be able to see it. But you said it's Think IQ is the channel, so I might have to go see how they have that.
Think Media.
Think Media. Okay, let me jot that down. So I might have to go check that out and see how they're doing stuff over there.
Yeah, they do a lot of stuff, man. You'll see they got a lot of really cool stuff over there.
Okay, cool. So let's hit another question. By the way, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button, because apparently YouTube likes it when you guys hit that like button, and I like that YouTube likes it. So if you could, greatly appreciate you hitting that like button. Oh, and I forgot to tell you guys, go subscribe to his channel. We started talking and we got into awkward stuff that I'm so used to talking about because I'm already awkward. So that was just in my wheelhouse. So I was just running with that. But definitely go subscribe to his channel. It's in the link description down below. Go follow him on Instagram as well. You can follow his TikTok, but he only has one video up there, so you don't have to follow it too hard. Go to Instagram.
Yeah, I wouldn't
That's
even
where
worry
you
about it.
most
There's probably not going to be another one.
But here's another question. So, do you breed or buy your snake food?
Both.
Okay. Okay.
So, so we started. So just so you know, like one of the things that I know Justin's mentioned in a couple of his videos, and like even like Billy from Mutation Creation, like I know he had like an issue for a while with people, or during something there was like some giant Canadian rodent shortage or something going on,
Hmm.
you know. And it's like, and then he had to cut down to feeding his stuff like every other week and doing this and doing that. And it's like at the end of the day, if you don't breed your own stuff to like a degree, you're almost leaving like your success and the responsibility of somebody else's hands.
Yeah.
And I found, because this is my first full year of breeding ball pythons. I mean, I've produced boas since like 2007 was my first litter rather. Um, the females will grow and develop so much faster if you feed heavy in between pairings. So during the feeding, or during the in between times of with the male, my girls, I usually feed them 2 or 3 times. You know,
Okay.
and it really expedited the follicle growth.
Ooh.
And and I feel like that helps like so much. Now I don't breed like adult stuff. I still have to like rely on that. But what I didn't want to get stuck with is the babies, like
Yep.
not having food for the babies, because, around this time, like everybody's producing babies, and these like rodent dudes, it's like, are they ready for it? Do they know how many clutches everybody's going to have? Like,
Yeah.
it's like a big problem, and it's like, I don't know the exact number of babies we produced, but we produced like 100 something, almost 200 or so
Mm.
babies. And it's like, you got to feed all those things, you got to feed them, you got to feed them weekly. I mean, it just is what it is. And
Very
my own
true.
rodent production was doing pretty good up until probably the last like month. And now I've been just because, as we were talking about, before we started, was, some of the stuff that I produced earlier in the season is now eating a much larger food item,
Yep.
which, the stuff I'm raising up just can't get that big that fast. And I mix my stuff up. I feed between ASF and like mice. And then,
Okay.
if they get big enough, I will offer them like a frozen thawed like weaned rat. Like I've got probably a good, I don't know, 20 or so that I've offered like weaned rats to, and they've all taken them without like a problem.
Mm.
So it's
So
just a
do
little bit of
you,
everything. When
so your collection eats mostly on live or mostly on frozen?
most of the adults, it's just easier sometimes for me to just feed them live.
Hmm.
But what I'll do is I will get enough rodents to feed all of my adults, live, like during the, every Sunday is my pickup day. So I
Mm.
go pick up my stuff, and what I'll usually do is like Saturdays I'll feed like the boas and stuff. And I usually do those like bi-weekly, or some of the bigger ones if they get bigger meals like every 3 weeks. But with those, whenever I'm pulling out like say small, or like, because usually I don't feed anything bigger than a small rat to the ball pythons, even like the bigger females, because I feel like the smaller meals more frequently help them grow faster.
Hmm.
So basically, whenever I thaw out small rats for some of the smaller boas, I'll just offer it to the ball pythons. And I have a couple that I know will take it, and I have a couple that I just try to see if they will. So
Yeah.
it's like I have probably like a 50-50 on ones that will take frozen thawed and ones that just don't want nothing to do with it. So
Okay.
so
Yeah.
for those ones, they get like the live ASF. And then for the ball python, the babies, I mean, most of mine are just so food aggressive anyway. It literally doesn't matter what it is. You open the tub and they're going right for it. So
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
they are ready.
Yeah.
But
It's great when they're ready. 100%. 100%. So do you use? Because your boas pretty much eat all the
they'll
time,
all
pretty
eat
much.
frozen thawed. Yeah.
Exactly. So are they like your garbage disposals for when the ball pythons don't eat the frozen thawed? You just
Well,
you
the
have
thing,
enough girls you know that eat consistently.
well, I have enough girls that eat consistently, but
Okay.
also what happens is I will thaw the food for the boas, and then I'll just like offer it to the ball pythons.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
if they don't take it, then it just goes right to the boa.
Gotcha.
Now if they do take it, then basically I just pull out more and I thaw it out, and then I'm like, all right, well, now you'll eat in a couple hours or whatever whenever the stuff is done. So
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
all it
that's
is.
smart. It's a great way not to waste stuff. 100% like that.
But even if that were the case, I mean, if the yeah, it's like any boa would be a garbage disposal, and I have a couple berms too, so it doesn't matter. There's something that'll always eat. And
Exactly.
I don't feed everything on the same day, only because it would just be way too much.
Yeah.
Like I've got like, I don't know, like 160 something babies plus like a 5540, yeah, 5540, a 7030, and then I have my rack for my boas and my cages for my berms. So it's like I've got a lot of stuff that I would have to feed in one day. So I try and split it up. So
Hmm. That makes sense. That makes sense. Top Moon, Morph, thanks for coming through. Appreciate both you guys. Um, I okay, yeah. So what's in another question? Because I blinked. I was thinking of something else, but then I realized that's not even what I was thinking about. I started thinking about X-Men because I saw Morph and I thought of Morph from X-Men, and I went on a whole different mind tangent. That is my dyslexia and my OCD and my what is it, ADD all rolled into one doing weird stuff in my mind. So,
well,
what do you use? What was that?
I was going to say, speaking of X-Men, I mean, I know I'm looking forward to Wolverine and Deadpool.
I am so excited for that. That also went through my head when I was thinking of Morph. It went Morph, Wolverine, Deadpool. Deadpool and Wolverine is gonna make a movie. Oh, I wonder how good Black Panther Wakanda is gonna be. I gotta go get my ticket. Dang, I still gotta go
Isn't
see
that
Black
coming out
Adam.
like that's coming out soon, right?
That's coming out November 11th. So
Okay.
I'm about to get tickets real soon.
Yeah.
Um, Super
My
excited for that.
yeah. My
I
parents
still
are
got to
coming
go see
into
Black
town
Adam.
in November, and the
Okay.
only reason why I haven't gone to see Black Adam yet is because we actually have like a really nice movie theater like in our area where you got like reclining seats and like all that kind of stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I want to wait for my parents to come into town because they don't really go to movies or anything very often. So it's like I want to like go there, and I want to also have stuff for us to do. So we'll go see The Rock dress up as a superhero, and then we'll go see, Black Panther, So
Yeah, yeah, that'd be really cool. That'd be really cool. I do need to go see Black Adam. Um, Maybe I'll go next week. I know it's not gonna be that great. But it might be great for a rock movie because he has a certain style. If you like his style,
I
you'll
know
like his movies.
that's like what my fiance says too. She's like, his movies are all terrible. But it's like you go see it because it's like The Rock, It's like
Exactly.
that's what it is. Like he's just a likable guy, so you just want to go see the movie.
Yep, very
Like it just
true.
is. It just is what it is. So
Okay, so what do you use to edit your videos?
I use DaVinci Resolve.
Okay, so that I've heard of that, and that's
You should look into it. It's like a free program. You can download
okay.
it on on like a PC or a Mac or whatever. And I know they're coming out with like a version for your phone soon, but it's super easy to use relatively to like other things. And if
Hmm.
you ever have a problem trying to figure anything out, there's infinite tutorials that make it like super, super easy on like how to do stuff.
Okay. Okay.
So I really like that program like overall as far as like for editing videos. And they
So
have
how
like a
is
lot of stuff.
no
I
go
was gonna
keep
say,
going.
yeah, they have a lot of stuff like baked in too, like
Okay.
they have like effects and titles and like all that stuff, and it's
Hmm.
like you just like replace it and move it, and so it really isn't too difficult to figure out how to like move things around or change things around. So I like it. It's a lot easier than using like, I don't know, iMovie or using like any kind of apps like on your phone or whatever.
Hmm. So
So
how is the rendering with it? How long does it
I don't
usually
know.
take
I
to
just
render?
not long,
Okay.
like
Okay.
a couple minutes. Yeah.
Okay, that's real
And
good.
I mean my camera here too, like it shoots like 4K video, and it's
Yeah.
like I throw it in there, I edit it, it does whatever it does, and it goes out onto my YouTube, and it looks fine. So that's all I care about.
Okay.
I don't get too like into all the semantics of that stuff. It just has select what it's being outputted for, and I just put like it's already set to like high quality YouTube like HD YouTube video, which I
Mm-hmm.
think is like 1080p or 11 whatever or 12, I don't know, whatever the high quality is, it's already
Very
set to
true.
whatever
It
that
seems
needs
like
to
it
be.
keeps changing. It seems like it
Yeah,
keeps going up.
so I just export it as that, and then it just renders it, and that's it.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to check
And
that
the
out.
and to go back to like the audio thing, there's like
Oh
a thing
yeah.
on there too where you can just click like your audio levels and just click like normalize audio levels, and it just
Oh.
does whatever it does automatically to like normalize it, so that way like your scene, it's like maybe it's not so.
Okay. Oh, so yeah, I can think of Bluetooth for now. But yeah,
Yep,
so
thing just died on me. So now I've got my backup pair of wired headphones.
okay. But that normalizing thing, that sounds like super cool to have, especially since we
Yeah,
just talked about.
it makes it easy because like there was a video I did not too long ago where I know my audio levels were like real wonky, and that's when I
Hmm.
realized that is because whenever I got this, it records everything like so clear. You can friggin' hear my tongue click against my teeth when I talk. So it's like I had to hit like normalize audio levels, and it kind of took that away to where it's like nice and like balanced.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's definitely. I mean, I'm always looking for something that makes what I'm doing easier and faster and cleaner. And if it
Yeah,
can make my sound cleaner, that's 100% on board for me. Because there's two things about YouTube you want to try to get very much right is your sound and your visuals. If people can't
yeah,
see what you're trying to talk about, they're not going to stick around. And if it sounds terrible, they're going to leave right away.
yeah,
So those are the most two important things to work on if you're starting a YouTube channel. Your visuals and your sound. Your visuals don't have to be perfect, but they have to be decent. Your sound,
I was gonna say like your sound needs to be better than your visuals to a degree
exactly.
because you could record like not the greatest quality video, be super charming and charismatic, and
Hmm.
have decent audio where people can hear and understand you, and they're more likely to stick around and support you versus if you have like great video and terrible audio
Yeah,
because they just can't
yeah,
hear what you're talking about or whatever.
definitely, 100%, 100%. Unless they're deaf and they're using subtitles, then there you go. But if it's the other
Yeah.
way around, they're out real fast. Um, so we got one more question, guys. If you have any questions for Brandon, put them in the chat. We'll definitely try to get to them. But for my last question, one of the questions I really enjoy seeing people work in their mind of how they want this question to go out and the animal they are thinking about making. I love this question. So what is your dream morph to make? So let's just stay with ball pythons right now. We'll bring you on again later, and we'll do the same question with boas. And you said you also had blood pythons too. You're getting into blood pythons, right?
No, I just have a pair of blood pythons,
Okay.
yeah,
So you
and then
plan to breed
burns.
them, or you just they're
Well,
just
I have a pair of golden eyes, and golden eyes make magpies. Magpies are
okay?
like the white and black ones.
Oh, those are cool.
Those are
Okay.
cool, which is why I
Those,
have them.
those are cool.
Those are
Okay,
cool.
okay. Okay, so what is your dream ball python morph to make? Like, so this is you. Like, it could be 6 recessive genes, 3 codons. What is a dream morph you want to make one time? throughout.
See,
your breeding.
I like stuff that's more like practical. You know what I mean? Like I'm not just going to throw everything together and be like, this is what I'd want to make because it, just sounds cool. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, so, I mean, I did a reel the other day that I posted on Instagram or whatever. And it was, basically it was basically a sunset ultramel clown pied, and it's like, I've got the ingredients to make it to a degree. Like I've got, not like together, but like, I got, double het sunset ultramels. I got double het sunset, clowns. I got double het sunset pieds. Like, so I have all the double hets. It's just a matter of throwing them together.
So has someone made the sunset ultramel?
Yeah. And it looks awesome. Okay, I'll send you a picture afterwards. It's nice.
Okay, I gotta look that. Because I'm slacking on sunset and ultramel. I have none of that in my collection. Plan to get both of those when the time is right and things work out the way they do. But a sunset ultramel inchy pie. So let's talk a little bit about why. I know why the sunset. So why did you want ultramel in there? Let's start with that one first. What about ultramel in that combo excites you?
Well, ultramel in general, I mean the color palette, and that goes to answer. I can't see it now because it was up for a little bit. But the question that was up was something about what I wanted for 2023 or whatever.
Oh yeah, I was gonna bring that up, but we'll bring that up now.
But so that kind of goes with it, right? Like I'm gonna take, like I'm not gonna be repeating any of the pairings I did this year with my sunset male. So I have other plans for him like this season. So one of the ones that I plan on doing with him specifically this season is to my ultramel pied to make triple hets.
Okay.
So that way I'm kind of one step closer, and ideally, it's like I also will hopefully hit a couple other things, along the way that'll kind of help towards like the final goal. But this year, that's definitely one of my main projects for stuff to hold back for myself is triple het ultramel sunset pieds, and why ultramel is, I don't know if you've seen it or not, right? The ultramel, or not the ultramel, the sunset pied that Justin did a video on.
Yeah.
So we went last year to his, VIP thing because we're on his Patreon, and it's like I got to see his, sunset pied in person. It was awesome. I really liked it. I have not seen a sunset clown in person. As babies, they look kind of cool. They're like, they kind of got that beige khaki kind of thing going on. The adults that I've seen, like an adult clown can be pretty brownish and like not have a lot of contrast. Like you need to have leopard. You need to have something in there to give it some like extra something. And so I feel like if you're mixing like pieds, which generally kind of get darker and browner as they age, clowns that generally get darker and browner as they age, and then sunsets that, I don't want to say that they get brown, but they definitely get more of like a rusty kind of, like my male sunset, he's more of like a yellow red, kind of like a burnt kind of red look. And ultramel just in general is like a very like orange and like, like a very orange toned, darker toned animal. So by having ultramel or by having monarch or something like that, that's naturally dark and that's the way that it stays, period, end of story, will help keep a lot of contrast and a lot of color into a sunset combo as it gets older. Like the baby ultramel sunset just looked like solid orange basically with like a little bit of like other stuff going on. So as it gets older, it's going to open up the pattern a little bit more and it's going to have a little bit more contrast. So I think the best way to keep a very vibrant colored adult would be to keep ultramel or like monarch or like maybe like candy. Like I don't know how that lavender sunset that Brad Boa and them made is turning out as it's getting older, but I know something that has more contrast in general, like ultramel or monarch, is likely going to be a better looking adult. So mixing that in with other recessive genes, I think is like the best way. I mean, like ultramel clowns look awesome. And see, and you know, with the lace thing, that's another thing. If my white lace makes it up to size this year, I plan on taking my Sunset to my white lace
Okay.
because I'm guaranteed to make lace. There's no lace. There's no normal. There's, you know, no, maybe this is a lace. No, everything is going to be
Exactly.
lace.
Everything's lace. Yeah.
Which
that's
is
what
why
Cougars do.
which is why I like the blackhead. Why I like, you know, the super chocolate, because you
Yep.
know when you breed it, everything is going to be those things.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Very true.
So
Mainstream Morse, thanks for coming through. Oh, I'll probably get a visual Ultramel. Probably stick with visuals. But I'll go look and see what that hit you got on Morse Market. See what that is. What else? Oh, so that explains the Ultramel, and I get why the Sunset pied, because you like the pied, and now you just want to make it brighter. Got that.
yeah.
So the Inchy, I assume. Tell me if I'm wrong. I'm assuming you want the Inchy in it to give it to keep that.
Oh no, I
pattern.
was saying a Sunset Ultramel Clown Pied.
Oh,
I wasn't even talking no codoms.
So that might have been me just liking Inchy so much. Okay, never mind. So okay, so
I do like Enchi too, though. I like it.
Okay.
It's not bad. It's nice.
yes, it's one of my favorite Jeeps. So Sunset Ultramel Clown Pie. Oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even
So that's like one that I would really like to make, but also, you know, like, I mean, it's not that it's like that far out there or anything else, but I think like because I have a super chocolate Desert Ghost Hypo male. And so it's like I plan on using him too. And it's like I don't think I would necessarily take him to Sunset. You know, but what I would like to see is you know, like a super chocolate Desert Ghost Hypo clown. You know, or you know, like the super chocolate Desert Ghost clown. Like I'm asking for a lot, but at the same time, like I'm not asking to hit too much. Like I like stuff that, like, I mean, you know, I have a hypo clown female, right? So it's like I plan on taking that male to that female, and I will make all hypos, so basically I'll be making chocolates that are hypos that are 100% het for Desert Ghost and 100% het for clown.
Yep.
So that already is narrowing my odds considerably to produce the triple visual and the double, you know, quote unquote, like the super codom version.
Yep.
So I'm still going for some really hard odds, but at the end of the day, if I can do stuff to narrow my odds going forward, like I'm trying to think of the best way to explain it that doesn't sound crazy. Basically, if I can make a super chocolate that carries whatever genes, and then I can breed that to another super chocolate that carries whatever genes, I'm guaranteed to make super chocolates
with those
all
genes.
hypos with like a narrowed ability to produce those other genes. So that's all it comes down to is trying to figure out the best way to put stuff together to get, you know, to increase your odds.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now is, especially with genetic testing, we only have like clown, albino, pied, lavender albino, and yellow belly. Do they have all like?
They have candy, ultramel, and clown also.
Candy, ultramel, and clown now. Okay. So do they have yellow belly complex? They figured that out. Do they have like all the yellow belly complex, like asphalt, all that too?
From what I've seen, like they could basically, like if you had animals from like a highway or a freeway or whatever, you can send that in and they'll be like, yes, this one here is a gravel or an asphalt, and this one here is a yellow belly. From what I understand.
So with that coming online a lot more, I think we're going to see a lot more people take chances with pairing hets to het to see if they get test the babies and see if it does still carrying that and instead of necessarily going out buying that visual to breed to each other to make their triple or quadruple heads, they'll breed heads to heads to see if they can hit on that. And it gives you a lot of byproduct though. You get a lot of
Yeah,
animals
and
that
it's
aren't caught.
also semi cost prohibitive doing that
True,
because you got
true.
to pay for every baby. You got to, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So for me specifically, I have animals that I haven't put up for sale yet because I've been waiting for sheds. I actually have like a list that I'm slowly checking stuff off of because
okay.
I have sheds that I'm collecting. I have two females from my second clutch this year that I haven't sent in sheds for because I've been waiting to get like another shed out of them. And they're leopards that are double het for lavender clown, but they're also
Okay.
66% het pied. And it's like
Ooh,
I don't want to sell my you know female or whatever. I don't want to sell them as something that they're not. Like I'd rather prove them out or not prove them out. you
mm-hmm.
know and it also comes to like cost effectiveness. Like I'd much rather get triple het price for a triple het and double het price for a double het than get an in between thing, and also rather guarantee that animal. Same thing goes for, I have some double het ultra male clowns that are also possible het pied because the same male sired that clutch. And I would rather keep the triple hets and sell the double hets. So for
Yeah,
that, I'm going to have to send the sheds in.
yeah, yeah. I have pied yellow belly, posthead clown females, and
Yeah.
I'm like, do I test them? Do I test to see if they're 100% head clowns? Because that'll sway me if I need to be holding on to one of them, or if I should be letting go of both of them. Um,
Well, the way I look at it is I mean, it's definitely worth it. And depending on what you want to do, like I know I have animals now that if I could, I'd probably trim down on some, but that's only because I'm bringing up my own stuff that I produced,
yep.
you know? And it's like at the end of the day, I know we mentioned, previously about like how big do you want your collection and whatever else, and it's like, maybe it'd be nice to be at like maybe like 100 females, but I pretty much already got that. I got like a 55-40 and a 70-30, and those things are pretty much full of mostly females.
Mm,
I just need to whittle it down plus like holdbacks and whatever else.
hmm.
So,
Yeah, it becomes a real question of how much do you test now that it's available, and has so I don't know the number of people that have gotten stuff back yet. Like it being that testing just kind of creative genetics. Thanks for coming through. I meant to say that earlier. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. Knowing that everybody's sending stuff out to be tested, and they're getting a large quantity of sheds. It's gonna take them time to do the test and all that, and then
mhm.
get back to people. How long is that process? Because you're sitting on babies now. Because you're like, I don't want to sell it because I don't know what it is. Because I could be selling a $200 baby, which is actually a $2,000 baby. Because once I get it tested, I find out, oh, you got this and this in there. Now I might not even need to sell because I might need to hold on to it. Um,
But
so
some
how
of
long ago have you sent out your shares?
I haven't sent any yet.
Oh, you haven't sent any yet. Okay,
No,
okay.
because whenever I do it, I want to kind of send all of them
At one both. Okay, that makes
to a
sense.
degree. One, like it'll hurt whenever I like pay it because it's obviously expensive.
Yeah.
But also like I got an animal from Justin not too long ago, and it's basically like, well, it's a red stripe, yellow belly, black pastel that's possible double het for ultramel clown,
Mm.
right? So you can test for both ultramel and clown. That snake is in shed right now. I am like impatiently waiting for it to shed,
Okay.
and it's like, so with that being said, it's like whenever that animal sheds, I do plan on sending some sheds in. And
Mm.
it doesn't really matter because I plan on keeping him anyway because I want to take him to other things, right? Like without like divulging all the stuff. Like I want to take him to other stuff regardless of whether he's het or not. However, if he's not het for clown, I'm not going to take him to a clown, because I don't want to make a bunch of het stuff you know, and then same thing, like with the ultramel, like I plan on taking him to an ultramel anyway because I have 3 adult ultramel females, you know, that I would like to figure out, you know.
Yeah.
So now there's other stuff that I have, like I have some leopard het clowns that are possible het pied females, and it's like, do I want to spend the money to test those out or not really? You know, like I don't know if I want to spend the 60 whatever dollars to test those out just for them to be like a leopard double het clown pied. You know what I mean? But maybe it would be maybe it would be good for me to do that. I don't know. You know, it's like, but it adds up very quickly because I've got, I don't even know. I've got a list, you know, and you know, it's a thick list because all the, you know, like the banana clowns that I produced recently, like I've got 3 females in there. So a banana fire het clown, a banana leopard fire clown, possible het pied, and then a banana leopard clown, possible het pied. So that's 3 females. That's, you know, 100 and whatever dollars, you know, 170, 180 bucks.
Yeah.
Just to have those 3 females tested for het pied. So I'm waiting for their second sheds. So that's what I mean. It's very cost preventative if you're just trying to test everything and throw it at the wall and see what happens. So you're not going to breed like a double or triple het to like a normal or whatever and test out 3 or 4 clutches worth of females. That would just get real expensive real fast.
True.
So it's like, now what you would do, in my opinion, or what I will do, is, you know, let's say I breed my, you know, double het sunset ultramels this next year, or sunset double het, you know, desert ghosts, and I produce a sunset or a desert ghost or an ultramel or whatever else, and then I have it tested for the opposite. That makes a lot more sense because it's a lot more valuable, you know, of an end result, regardless of whether it proves out or not, you know, because I don't know, it's like, how much are you willing to pay for like a POD-S het, especially a POD-S het that you can test for? You know, like, I mean, like it takes some luck away from things because you could come up, you know what I mean? Like I got my leopard clown, possible het pied male, and he proved out for us, you know? So it's like, I was lucky in that regard. And, you know, so that made him more valuable than he would have been, you know, because like I got him and he was, you know, I don't know, I can't remember what he was, but for sake of example, let's say he was like $700 or something like that, you know, and it's like, instead, if he was a het pied, he would have probably been twice that amount, you know, so it's like, I got lucky in the fact that I gambled and I won. So it's like, that's the one negative thing that I can kind of see with genetic testing stuff, is that people that are trying to make a come up and get lucky could potentially, you know, miss out unless they get a breeder that didn't want to test for whatever reason. Like, I feel like for your females, it's super valuable if you hit something and you have like extra genes that are in there. I mean, it just makes sense because, you know, your people know, and if it's, you know, not het for whatever, then it can be sold as not het for whatever. And then it's, you know, then it's like somebody's pet that they can love and enjoy versus someone that could potentially overpay for a het or a possible het that doesn't prove out. And they're just like hoping for the best, you know? So I don't know.
Yeah, it is gonna come down.
It'll change some stuff for sure.
It'll definitely change the stuff. It'll change how people buy snakes from people. Because I don't know if I'm going to test every POD-S het that I have.
Oh, exactly. So I wouldn't either. I don't plan on it.
I don't know if people are going to start asking people, like just for example, like I had a friend ask me, like, well, if somebody asks me to test an animal, do I charge them on top of the price for the animal, or how would I do that? And that's going to become a question.
Here's the problem, though. I would just say no.
Yeah, I mean, realistically,
because like look at it this way, right? Like if I wanted to test the animal, I would have tested it anyway. You know, but also if what if that comes back for positive? You mean to
Yep.
tell me that you still want the POD-S2 price? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's like,
um, or that could become a new gamble where people either work a contract to where, hey, I'm gonna give you a deposit, but I want you to use part of that deposit to test the animal, and whatever the test comes out, you keep the deposit, and if I decide not to have that animal anymore, you keep what's left of the deposit. People could be coming up with something like that.
nah,
I mean,
I wouldn't entertain none of that nonsense.
this is true because we're in a whole new
No,
ball field, so there's so many
you
things
either
people are trying to
you're
pull.
like the animal that I got from Justin, right? Like he wasn't like cheap, and it's like I paid for the possible het, but now I have
Uh
the
huh.
ability to test for it. So if that animal proves out to be a double het for Ultramel and Clown, that thing is worth its weight in gold. But it's
Very true.
basically a Pompeii maker that's also het for Ultramel.
Very
Like
true.
it just is what it is, and it's like there's it just doesn't make sense on the breeder standpoint to test every single animal, especially if the values just don't make sense.
Yeah.
It's like now for you as like an individual keeper, or at least for me, like if it's something like I'm basically testing for holdbacks, you know what I
Very
mean?
true.
Like
Very
I'm
true.
testing for holdbacks, and then there's other stuff like the leopard banana clowns, like possible het pied. It literally doesn't make sense for me to not test them and sell them as like a Gotham or whatever they're called, possible het pied, when I could spend $65 and I'll know whether it's het pied or not. And I don't know what the price will go up if it's het pied, but I know it'll be worth $65.
Yeah. Yeah. That price,
Now,
because that price will go up quite a bit.
and all that is just because it's, like, and also too, like, for me, like, the value that I could get out of like the star animals that I produced this year, which I would consider those being like star animals I produced, that value is incredibly helpful as far as like one, getting cash back for other stuff that I've bought, and
Mm-hmm.
just overall being able to like help expand and all that other stuff. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's worth that. And then same thing for you and your collection going forward. It makes a lot more sense to me to be able to test for, things that, like het pied, like, het candy or whatever else, that are animals where you're like, what, because that animal's like that's an animal I'm holding back because that
Yep.
helps you grow your collection. And it's like, and I told people, and it's like I only have one left of the double het sunset desert ghost. But eventually what's going to happen is you're going to be able to test for desert ghost, you're going to be able to test for sunset, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like you get one of these like double het males, you could breed it to, which I plan on doing if these males make it to size, like a double het sunset ultramel and a double het sunset desert ghost. Like if those are up to size this year, I'm taking them to a visual female to hopefully make visual desert ghosts and visual ultramels that are 50% het. I was planning on doing that regardless of testing or not.
Yeah.
Now, the benefit would be if testing does come out for sunset, I would be able to test them, and then I'd be able to see which ones are het or not.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's a thing where if I'm able to do that, I will send those tests in, and then that will determine whether or not I'm keeping that animal or not. And if I make a
Very
desert
true.
ghost that's still not sunset, I'll still keep it because I don't think you can go wrong having, extra desert ghost females. And I already have like three. Oh, I already have plenty of ultramel females coming up. I'll just say that. So,
Yeah. I'm trying to get some Desert Ghost females. I got some het girls growing up right now. I was kind of late to the party on Desert Ghost. I had the chance to get a female Desert Ghost Inchi
oh,
for like $500 before
before the
Desert
storm,
Ghost.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm kicking myself so much now. Oh, because I had, oh, I'm so upset. I should have got that female, but uh, things
You know,
happen. You live and
Ken and I
learn.
were talking about desert ghost the other day too. He just popped in here.
What's up, kid?
Dude,
Thanks for coming through.
but yeah, man, I've picked up a couple desert ghosts over the last couple months, but before that,
Mm,
I just had one. I had my female that laid my eggs this year, and
mm,
she's a pastel lesser Enchi desert ghost,
okay.
and I got her from like Bob Vu for like, I don't know, 13 or $1,700 or something,
Mm-hmm.
and that was like before they got expensive because that was like 2019, and I mean she was
Yeah.
still expensive,
He's
but
still
like that's
expensive,
what
but
that but
not
that's
where
when
they
like yeah, that's when like a good desert ghost was like $600. Like a
at.
nice single gene,
Yep.
desert ghost was like $600. And I
Yep.
couldn't find one. That's why I ended up getting this one actually. So I was like,
Um,
because I actually wanted just a regular desert ghost, which it's probably a blessing that I got this one because it has a lot more genes and whatever else.
yeah.
But I was trying to, be cheap and thrifty, you know what I mean?
Very true.
And
What's
then,
up,
same
Joe? Thanks for
thing.
coming through.
Yeah, the puzzle king over here.
Yeah. He's one of the reasons I've been looking at puzzle for so long and just trying to like, am I getting into it? Am I getting into it? Because he
I
has some
was
beautiful puzzle stuff.
Yeah, I was stoked
Beautiful.
when he hit that GHI puzzle because, like, that female I got, that GHI Mojave double het, like I was like, man,
Uh-huh.
that because Bell Complex stuff with puzzles looks so nice, and like the GHI looks like so nice and so contrasty, and that's like another one that fits in there right with like the chocolate and the blackhead because like a
Yeah.
super GHI is pretty cool.
Yeah. They
Messes
are
with
really
pattern,
nice.
messes with color, adds contrast.
Yeah.
Totally viable super. I mean, it's
Oh, the
awesome.
rainbow
So.
gene. Um, so I know very little about the rainbow gene. One of my friends hatched out a rainbow um, this season. I haven't talked to her to see how it's looking. I'm interested in it. I don't know if it's compatible with albino or candy or any of that. I have no idea. I think it's still, it might, I don't know if it's still new to where no one's paired them to them and see, but
I
I don't
know
think
Joel's
anybody's
got
trying
some.
it. Joe's got rainbow? I didn't know he had rainbow.
Yeah, he produced some like het rainbow stuff. I don't know if he's made visuals yet, but I know he
Okay.
has some like het double het kind of stuff. I don't know if he's produced visuals yet, but
He did say
I'm
rainbow.
I'm like I don't have any of it. Some of it's really nice.
Uh-huh.
Dave Palumbo, he made some like hypo rainbow super hurricanes and stuff, and those things look like pretty cool. Like rainbow to me, like the ones I've seen, like this dude Renee
Okay.
Snake MD something over there in Europe. He makes some like really really nice stuff. Yeah, they're not going to be
He says
compatible,
it's not compatible.
but they're basically like a super clean looking banana that like
Yeah.
never gets spots and it's like super bright. But that Renee dude over in the UK makes amazing looking stuff.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, super excited for that. But that's all my questions for you, Brandon. I got no more questions. I mean, I have questions, but they don't have to deal with what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to ask you questions about other stuff later. But is there anything that you want to let the people know you got coming up? Hint, hint, the video you got coming up tomorrow. But anything where any shows you're vending, anything letting people know where they might be able to, buy snakes you have, see snakes you have, or see you in person sometimes because you're vending the show. Let the people know what you got going on.
Well, my fiance and I stay at home all the time, so you're not going to really catch me out in the wild. That's just the way that goes. But no, we live in Maryland, and there's a lot of shows around here that happen pretty regularly. So we're actually going to be doing it's a small show, but it was actually really nice over in Williamsport, which is
Okay.
like 30 minutes away from us. So it's like just like a hop, skip, and a jump down the road for us.
Yeah.
And then the week after that, so that's like the not this weekend, but the next weekend, the next Saturday. I want to say it's like the 5th or the 6th or
Okay.
whatever day that falls on. And then we have a show the Saturday after that in Gettysburg. And so that one is a bigger show that a lot more people go to. And we're going to, well, I mean, ideally, we should be in the same spot we were in last time, which is right over next to Sea Serpents over in the corner. I really
Okay.
liked being like away from everybody, like often like the off by the wall, which is probably not the best spot to be, but I liked
This is
it, you know.
true. This is true. Brandon,
It's
we
like
have to
I
stop
don't
doing that. We got to stop putting ourselves away from people. We need to be by
uh,
people. I know. I feel the same
I like
way.
being over there. But yeah, so you'd be able to see us or meet us or talk to us there. Like I know, like I've ran into a lot of people from other lives and stuff that live in the area that went there to the last one. So that was pretty cool.
Okay.
Aside from that, I try and post daily on Instagram most of the time, and I'm always available too. Like if anyone just wants to chat snakes or ask questions, if they got like photography questions or video questions or whatever, if I can help out, like I can help out. Like I've even made like a somewhat quick like video that I forgot to edit properly to use as a reel. So now I just like uploaded it as a private video on YouTube that I can send to people to show like how I take pictures of the snakes. Like it's like super quick, super easy, and you get like pretty accurate pictures, So it's like if people need help with stuff, like I'm willing to like help them out with whatever they think I can help them out with,
Okay.
and then I'm trying to post videos weekly on YouTube, and I'm going to try and start posting reels on YouTube versus reels on Instagram.
Oh yeah, I've been
Like
posting reels on whatever reel I make on Instagram. I post it on YouTube and TikTok.
yeah.
I just change the sound sometimes because
See,
YouTube doesn't have the same
and
sound.
that's the hard part for me is because usually when I find a sound on YouTube, I make a video specifically for that sound.
Yeah,
So
it's
sometimes I've been
hard.
able to sometimes I've been able to like make it work or find the same sound or whatever.
Yep.
So it's okay. And I don't, YouTube I'm sure wouldn't be happy with you if you're just saving your video with the YouTube sound or the
Nope, they
Instagram
hate that.
sound.
They hate it.
Yeah.
They
So
copyright
so
me
yeah,
twice on.
yeah, so I'm not trying to poke the beast or nothing. So it just is what it is, but we try and post actively to YouTube and to Instagram, and then
Okay.
on like our Instagram there's links up to like our little link tree deal which has Morph Market and whatever else. And we have a series that we're planning on doing where I'm actually just going to use the power of women in the snake hobby and just exploit my girlfriend for views. Just a pretty girl talking about snakes. The views are going to pour in.
That's what people love to see. I've been trying to get my wife to come down and hold a snake for 10 minutes. She's like, "Look, that's your thing. That's not my thing." So it makes
Yeah,
it
she
difficult.
used to not like them, but there's a couple that she like always asks about, and
Yeah.
she'll like hold them and she'll hold stuff for videos or hold something if I'm cleaning a cage or whatever else. So she's like super supportive with like everything. So I mean, it's usually not the case, but she helps out a lot. So
Oh, that's good. That's good. PCF, thanks for coming through. So Joel says you're next level, so he needs that motivation. So
yeah,
definitely.
it gets it's something because I just want it to turn out well.
It's Adam's fault. Adam's fault. Okay. Yeah. So definitely go check it out. Like I said, his links are in the description down below. YouTube, go hit that subscribe button. Instagram, go hit that follow button. TikTok, go look at it. It's one video. Go look at that one video and then leave. But definitely go back to Instagram and YouTube and follow. Are you on Facebook? Like, are you like everybody else on
Oh
Facebook?
no, I have Facebook, but Facebook actually emailed me like probably 2 months ago to monetize reels on there.
Oh, really?
And yeah, which is interesting to me because I barely posted any of them. But then I posted like a couple, and they actually paid me the other month like $1.50.
Oh, nice.
So
Hey,
I should post more there, but it's the same problem, right? Like
yeah,
I
they don't have a
record the
lot of.
I record the video for the audio, and I'm
Hmm.
really just not a fan of insert snake, insert music, here you're done.
Hmm.
Like that's just not me. Like I like there to be, even though it's 7 seconds, I like there to be a story, I like there to be a purpose, I like there to be something that ties everything together, and I feel like I can't get that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, I can understand that. I definitely
So
like when I'll get an Instagram because my main focus right now is Instagram Reels, and then I spread out to everything else. And when
yeah,
I get that sound, I'm like, oh, I love this sound. I can do this with it. I do this with it. And then I
yep.
go put it on TikTok. I'm like, well, I don't have that sound anymore. So now I'm searching for a similar sound or something close to it, or I'm on Facebook looking for a similar sound. And Facebook's sounds are so limited over there too. And I'm like, you
Yeah.
guys don't have half the stuff the other
Well, some
apps
of the
do.
yeah, some of the little like trendy things, like like if ghosts aren't real, explain this, right? Like that's a video I did like not too long ago, and I
Hmm.
really liked it. And I had that idea for a while, and I lost the sound and I couldn't find it. Friggin' the fiance finds the friggin' song, but it's on friggin' TikTok, and I'm over here giving her side eye, like I can't use that garbage. Like friggin' Instagram's gonna hate me, like. Uh,
Yeah, that is how it happens. That's
it's rough
100% how
because
it happens.
that's where most of it comes from. It comes from TikTok,
Yep.
and then it's a trend there, and then it eventually makes it to us old folks over on Instagram still,
Yep.
and then
Yep.
it's like we just don't. Nah, I'm not going over there.
I'm not going over there. Nope.
No.
Nope. I shut it down. That's not where I'm going.
Yeah, so
I'm
it's
just
like
going
I don't know,
there.
man. I just need to focus more on YouTube. And at the end of the day, like we talked about before, it's like brand recognition for like your face,
Yep.
showing your animals,
Yep.
and it's much like this live, right? It's like you get like I'm a lot more comfortable doing this than I am recording a YouTube video. If you watch my YouTube videos, I'm damn near hostage. You know what I mean? Like I'm like trying to remember my one thing that I'm having to say, and I'm like real like timid about it, and it's like
uh,
it's just different. It's harder to record a video where you're like, "Hey guys, so it's like this, and it's like this is the baby," and there's only so many ways you can say this thing looks cool,
exactly.
So it's
Yeah, I
like,
use all my cool words. I'm out. I'm out of cool words now.
yeah, it's like you get past six babies, like I don't know how other way to say that this thing looks neat.
I trust me. There's times where I'm like trying to describe a baby, and I'm like, I think I said that already. But then I'll
Oh no, I
find
know,
something on
I
that
know.
baby. I'm like, what is that? And I'm literally discovering something while trying to tell you guys about it. I'm like, look at this weird thing on the side of it. I never noticed that thing, and now I have a whole new fascination for that baby because I found something
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting.
So for me, I know like because my first video that I started posting again after my little break was a video to show off the super enchy hypo het desert ghost that I produced. I mean, we got kind of screwed on the odds with like the two hypos being males, so it is what it is. But with that, it's like every time I'm like, here's another super enchy, here's a super enchy with a hypo. It's like they look the same. It's like, oh, that's a really cool pattern. Guess what? This next one also has a really cool pattern. Yeah, see, Joel already knows this thing looks neat. Yeah,
This thing
it's
looks
like,
neat.
I said it for every. I said the same thing for every single video, every single baby. You know,
Uh, oh, creative genetics. Don't say that.
all
Um,
all you, all you got to do is hold the phone in your hand and point it at animals. That's ninety
I
percent of Dave Palumbo's videos, and that works.
pretty much, pretty
People
much.
people just want to see cool snakes.
Check out Top Moon. His first year doing YouTube, he never showed his face. Never. Only showed the animals. And like he asked me like when he was about to start, like, hey, I want to start YouTube. Is it okay I just show the animals? I was like, yeah. People are only here for the animals anyway. You just
Well,
getting right to the
yeah.
point. Do it.
Well, there's tons of channels out there, not animal relating, but otherwise relating, where it's like pretty much just a voiceover showing
Yep.
whatever things or talking
Yep.
whatever things or
And they do
showing
amazing.
foods or whatever else. Like, yeah, it's just
Yep.
it's easy. Well, it's not easy, but it's like you just got to figure out what way works best for you.
All right, Ken. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, yeah. Do what makes
Yeah,
you
thanks for stopping
comfortable.
by, Ken.
And if you like Top Moon actually eventually got comfortable. I kind of pushed him to get on a live to get him in front of the camera. But then he started doing videos with him in the camera and actually shooting his face. And now he does more than one or two a month. He's doing good. He likes it. So it takes time to get that comfortableness in front of the camera.
Oh
You
no,
don't
it
have to
does.
start there. You can always start
Yeah.
behind the camera and work your way there. And go back if you choose. You're like, no, I don't want to be in front of the camera anymore. I'll go back.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The
Definitely
whole point
true.
is to be comfortable. Be comfortable. Because once you're comfortable, more of you comes out, which people will enjoy you. No matter how weird you are, there's other people just as weird as you looking for you. Because they're like, hey, that person's just as weird as me. I feel a kinship. And now you guys are friends. That's how it works. Trust me.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. And it's like, I mean, if you watch any of my videos, you'll see that like us talking here is way different than me recording a video, you know,
Mm,
showing stuff. I mean, it just is.
yeah.
It's just the way that it goes, and I mean, that's half the reason why I don't do it is because I'm not comfortable. But I understand the necessity of
Yeah.
doing it and the benefits of doing it, and the benefits of doing it outweighs my desire to not do it.
Very true. Very true.
So
Means to an end sometimes. Oh, what do you say? You guys are getting real chatty now. I remember making that jump talking about the room.
yeah,
Get
Joel's
you
videos are
here.
so smooth though. Whenever he's
He
doing
is
it, you
so
know,
smooth.
yeah, like whenever I see his videos, I'm like, damn. I'm like, that's what I need. Like, I need to be able to do that where I'm just like, hey, what's going on, guys? Like, let's just show this and show that. And it's like, hope everyone's doing well. And it's like, I'm like tripping over my, like, who I am and what I'm doing here kind of thing.
Yeah, it's he's talking like you're having a conversation in his living room together, and you guys are
Yep.
just hanging out. It's just so casual, so relaxed. I know it doesn't seem like he's nervous at
I, I,
all.
I literally, like, pretty much script my stuff out. Like, I, use Trello, which is like another app that I heard about through, like, social media people.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
And you literally like you can what I do is I basically just put an outline and I put like what I'm going to say, what I'm going to record, what I'm going to say, what I'm going to record, and I have that stuff down because my concern is I don't want to be a rambling idiot saying
Yeah.
this and this and this and repeat the same thing 4 times. So it's like I try and stay on subject, and I feel like if I don't have an outline, I'm just going to like botch the whole thing.
It's
And then
easy
it's
to
like
go right off.
too many takes of it, and I'm just like over it, and I'm like, all right, well, whatever we got is what's gonna work.
So I definitely got tired of doing multiple takes. Rock, thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. I definitely got tired of doing takes. So I've got to the point where unless I say something terrible, mess up very badly, I mean very
It is what it
badly,
is.
it's in there. I do
Yeah,
usually one, maybe two takes. But if I forget to say something, I'll put it in text in the video. That's how it
yeah.
goes.
There was a video like a while ago now that this one dude, one of my buddies, he's like, by the way, he's like, did you mean to do this? And I was like, no, I did not mean to do that. And I just left in this whole segment of me just like okay, let me repeat that again. And then I did it like probably 3 or 4 more times.
Oh wow.
And yeah, it's just in there. I forgot to edit it out or whatever. Like I probably made the cuts, I just didn't delete them, so they're just in there, and it's part of the video now because I'm
Yep.
not gonna take it down and repost it or whatever else.
Yep.
It's out there.
Yep.
I'm
Dude,
just
I
glad it
got
wasn't one of the ones where I used colorful language.
exactly. Every time I post a video, I give it like 2 to 3 minutes and wait and see if somebody hits me up like, hey, you're cussing in this. And it's like, okay, no one said I've cussed yet. Okay, that's a good cut. I did the right cut in
Yeah,
there. Because
yeah.
I don't even like to hear my own voice, so it's
It's
hard
easy to
to edit.
yeah, it's easy to overlook it, because you're like, all right, I've heard this part before. Let me skip to this next part, and then that's where you miss like the little diamond that's hiding in there.
I don't even listen. So this is probably not good to say on live, but whatever. I don't even listen to myself when I'm editing it. I'm looking for certain movements because I'll do certain movements to let me know, okay, I stopped talking there. So I don't really listen. I kind of just speed through looking for that movement and be like, okay, this is where I need to cut because I stopped talking here. Because I've trained myself to make a movement when I need to make a cut that seems natural that people haven't picked up on, but people probably start looking for it now. But
That's funny.
it's something I've learned to do for the last like 2 years. So now people are probably gonna look for it, but it's because I don't like the sound of my voice, which makes it hard to
uh,
find clips for like from the. I wanted to start putting clips of the podcast
for
on
the
like
shorts and
reels.
stuff. Yeah,
It's hard because I don't like listening. So most of my clips I do have, it's other people talking. I don't usually say anything.
whatever works, you know.
Exactly. Oh wow. See, this is what happens.
That's funny
We've been talking a long time, so now we're just telling all the truth and the terrible stuff we do
though.
and how we mess up.
That's funny.
Oh, what's up? Hey, Phil, thanks for coming through. All right, guys. So that's the podcast. Before we go, we have to say thank you to our sponsor for this episode one more time before we head out. So here we go with our sponsor.
This episode is sponsored by Herp Collectors. They're a family-run business specializing in investment quality morphs to help other breeders achieve their project dreams and beyond. They are working with a couple different morphs specifically. Their baseline is Clown, Desert Ghost, and Hypo. And they're dabbing a little bit in the Ultra Male and Pieds as well. So definitely check them out for ball python needs. They are slowly coming up in the industry and they're going to be producing some amazing animals very soon. But that's not all. They also have a YouTube channel. Of course, you know we're all about YouTube over here. They do a live podcast on their YouTube channel every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time called Clutch Conversations. It's a great podcast. I was actually on it, and Mike does an amazing job interviewing guests. He also brings guests from all over the industry and talks to them. It's a definite watch if you're free on Thursdays. And if you're not, you can still listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcast apps. Their mission is also to share the excitement of working with these reptiles, as well as bringing people together to promote and preserve our hobby. So what are you waiting for? Go follow and subscribe to their YouTube, their Instagram, their Facebook, and their TikTok. Thanks for sponsoring this episode, Herp Collectors.
Thanks again for sponsoring this. Thanks again for sponsoring this episode. Mike, appreciate it. Go check him out. Morph Market, all that good stuff. Check out his YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. He is on Instagram and he is on TikTok. All those links are in the description down below. Brandon, thank you so much for coming on, being the guest for this week. Greatly appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks again for having me, and I definitely appreciate it. And I hope the people watching got some sort of value out of it, even if it was just laughing at our pain for the brief moments there.
If you got a little bit of entertainment from this show, this episode, whether it's good stuff or laughing at us, we would greatly appreciate if you go hit that like button, because YouTube likes it when you hit that like button. I like that YouTube likes that you like that you hit the like button. Said like a lot. That felt weird. But thank you guys for coming by. Definitely go check out Brandon. All his links are in the description down below. Follow his YouTube, his Instagram. You go look at that one TikTok video, but make sure you go follow YouTube and Instagram and check out his reels. He's getting on top of them. He's doing amazing stuff. Don't look at him on Facebook. Well, no, go look at him on Facebook too, because he's making money off of there. So go look up him over there as well. But thanks again, Brandon. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys in the chat. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us and having fun with us. But that is our show. If there is, if you're not done for the night, you want to go watch somebody else's live, Hair Down Fridays on Keith's Restrictor channel is on right now. So go check that out. Probably going to jump over there. Go hang out with those guys as well. Iron Dog, I think, is taking a break on his live shows right now. But go make sure you subscribe to his channel. Michaela might be going live tonight as well. Samson, I think, just got done going live, so go do a watch replay of that. But go check out somebody else's live and go say, hey, what's up to them. Go support everybody in the community. Also, go tell somebody you love them or say hello to somebody. You never know how that might pick up their day, make them feel good, or give them something positive in their life at this moment. You never know what a hello might do for somebody. So share some love out there. Thank you guys for watching. All right, Brandon, we're going to say bye to the people. Say bye to the people.
Princess wave.
All right, everybody. Brandon, you're being weird. And I love it. All right, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye.